Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Abigail Opiah and we are at the Tech Capital's InfraAI Summit in Athens, Riviera. I am joined by Tomasz Buk, CEO of DCX Liquid Cooling Systems. Thank you so much, Tomasz, for joining me. How are you finding this whole experience at the Riviera?
Thank you for having me, first of all. The venue is great, of course. I don't have to speak about it. View is great, food is great, but also the value of the discussion and who is here, so C-level directors, ministry, officers and so on. I think that it is top class event.
Yeah, speaking about the kind of caliber of people that are here, some of the sessions that we've had earlier, we've heard from the minister. Tell me some of the key take homes that you found very interesting and where the discussion is moving forward to.
Mm-hmm. So I think everyone is speaking about more or less the same troubles they have. It's about supply chain, which is true, about power demand. It's not about where to place the building, but it's how to get the power at that point. It's about human power, so like IT engineers. It's so big demand that companies are fighting for the resources. So I think it's like three biggest common topic for everyone. At that conference, maybe because of we are here among the CEOs, so they have kind of rather helicopter view. They do not focus on technology itself, but about how to run the business in current circumstances.
Nice. And I'm interested, obviously you work in liquid cooling systems. I want to know a bit about your journey. So tell me how you got into liquid cooling systems, how you climbed up the ladder, how you became CEO of DCX. Yeah, explain your journey.
Okay, so I joined DCX a couple of years ago as let's say, my colleague was running the company and I joined him as, let's say, help and interim manager and investor. So that's how it starts. And before we were both working for Hewlett Packard for like 12 years and we know each other from that ancient times, like early 2000, in the beginning of this century, right? Then I was managing the other companies like IT distributors. I was acting as interim manager for some companies, short period time management, rapid changes, optimization, focusing on helping companies going through the hard times, let's say. But as I joined Maciej, so my business partner, I thought that I have the background. The topic is extremely interesting, and unfortunately, it looks like we were ahead of the. Our technology was too early to the market for data centers, so we were going from conference to the conference, offering liquid cooling for data centers, and like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, there was no discussion about, no guys, no one will allow you to bring water into the data center, right? Or servers in the fluid, come on, no one is going to do it. And at that time we were delivering lots of knowledge to the market. But at the same time, the other industry arose, and it was crypto mining, so Bitcoiners, and they were early adopters for that technology. So there was no discussion about will it work or not, but it was the need, and our solution was perfect to solve all the issues. So we supplied like literally thousands of customers in all continents and really like 70, 80 countries. Our installations are running now. So they were early adopters, and having that experience from that high power, high density installations, we brought it into the data center, starting it again, and finally now it was a good time because everyone starts to speak about immersion cooling, liquid cooling, and we had that experience already, so we were like far ahead of any other company, like competitors, for example, or newcomers, because there's big hype. So newcomers are on the market now, but we have that advantage that we have real experience.
I think that's really interesting to see, and obviously you've been in the industry long enough to see the transition between not caring about liquid cooling or not feeling like you need it to now obviously needing it. And it's every article I write, I kid you not, everyone's like, oh, this data center liquid cooling and all of that.
No, that's true.
It's fantastic. What would you say was the driving force behind that push? I know sustainability is like the easy answer, but what would at its core, what was the push?
Sustainability can be from, let's say, both ends. It can be about how to reduce electricity draw, but liquid cooling offers you also something else. You can reject the heat as hot water from the data center, and you can deliver hot water and supply swimming pools. Like this hotel probably needs about 1 megawatt of power, like calculated as hot water for all the swimming pools, saunas, spas, and so on. And we have such kind of installation too. Bringing that so-called PUE, so that efficiency factor of data centers, really like to the minimum levels, because not only you decrease electricity draw, but you can sell heat to some other industries or cities even. Also we have such kind of installations, so for district heating. So that's one reason. The other one, the power density per rack in the data centers is right now skyrocketing, I can say. In our recent installation in Paraguay, we installed racks that, like you can imagine, 1 square meter, it's more than 200 kilowatt per rack. So comparing to a typical data center where there's like up to 10 kilowatts, so it's like 20 times more per square meter or per rack. So this is the only way you can cool it is liquid, meaning or water or special fluids. It means we are in the right place, right time, with right technology, because there is the demand, there is the problem, and we are solving that problem with our systems and application of our systems.
And I know it's not as simple as just obviously putting liquid inside a data center, for example, but tell me a bit about the process behind creating a more sustainable infrastructure, and especially with AI coming in and like this, all the conversations like we're going to need more. How will this be able to still be contained and still be managed in a sustainable way?
Okay, first of all, we are using fluids that are not harmful for the environment. Typically, we are using water if there is as much as we can. So it's not any special fluid that is harmful for your life or and the environment. Secondly, we can design the data center in that way that it from scratch it's let's say better designed for the current needs. You don't need to invest lots of capex into equipping into the building itself, like building the building and equipping it with chillers, filters, special fans, fan walls, everything that is known from, let's say, the air-cooled data centers. You just need a building with the flat floor and some IT plumbers like DCX, like we name ourselves IT plumbers. So someone who can connect everything using the new view on the topology, so how the racks and the servers and everything in the data center is arranged. So we are using that newest topologies to optimize like everything regarding the data centers, meaning water usage, power usage, space, how much space you need to put your dream data center in life. So the approach is from many different angles to the topic, and for sure it has nothing in common with the air-cooled data center. It's like, I would say, different industry. In fact, of course, we speak about data centers, but those are different data centers for sure. Different buildings, you need different people inside. It's so much less maintenance needed for water cooling or hydro or immersion, whatever. So less maintenance, less human or human power, but you need a little bit different specialist on site. So someone who taking care about pumps, about tubes, potential leakages, and so on. So a little bit different.
Very interesting. In terms of DCX's growth trajectory, what is the plan for the next 2 to 5 years, per se? Like, where do you see this going? Because obviously you've already explained how it got started, where you currently are, what you're currently offering. What's next?
Okay, now, as you know, the AI is booming and it's the main driver of the new requirements for the new buildings, for that large power supply, bigger CDUs, so pumping systems, and so on and so on. So this is for sure key driver. On the other hand, we have millions of regular servers for the regular businesses, like for your email, for your storage, for like typical usage. Not everything is AI. So I think we'll have next decade for sure the business will be very stable and growing, not stable and declining for sure. What next? I heard some discussion on the corridors about quantum computing, for example. So we are not in that industry of cooling, it's totally different, but we need to be prepared, right? It could be the next disruptor as AI now. Like 2 years ago, no one was speaking about AI. Now everybody speaks about it. Quantum, now everybody's like, maybe in 10 years, but who knows? Maybe it will be in 2 years or 5 years. So we need to be ready. We are not planning any rapid changes in our portfolio of products, because it's a complete portfolio from server level, so cold plates, finishing on the large cooling machines, so dry coolers, for example. So like we are one-stop shop for immersion or direct-to-chip cooling data centers.
And my final question for you, so when we come back here in the next 12 months, so this time next year, hopefully, tell me what you feel like the conversations need to be moved on to. So, you know, this year, as you said at the beginning, people are talking about their challenges, what everyone's facing is the same, but what kind of conversations do you feel like will happen next year?
That's a very good question. It's really hard to predict what will happen. I think it will be more about security, meaning in that kind of a strategic discussion about how to secure data centers, how to secure cables, submarine cables, because it really is a strategic infrastructure. Like recently there was the fire on Heathrow, right? But all the data centers were right next to that fire. No one knows how the fire starts, first of all. But we need to protect more our data centers and power lines and fiber optics cables and so on and so on. If not that, we'll be back to the Stone Age, right? So I think the next conference will be more about security, like physical security, not software security.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for talking to me, Tomasz. This was a brilliant interview, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay.
Thank you.
Here. As for you at home, don't forget you can check out all our latest news on our website and on our social media at the Tech Capital. You lead, we report. Bye for now.